Hi, welcome to Analytics for All. This is lesson 18 in our Python for Data Science course. This lesson will be covering date regular expressions. As with all my lessons, I of course have a full write-up on my website, analyticsforall.org. I will put a link to this website down in the description. Uh, I will be using the Anaconda distribution of Python here so I'll be using Jupyter Notebooks. I have a first lesson I have shows you how to install this. If you don't have it installed or you can't install it, then go ahead and look for the blue arrows on my website because that'll bring you to a Python testing shell where you can try this. So if it's on your phone or if you're on a work computer you can't install it, you can go that way. But if you can, I highly recommend actually installing Jupyter, the Anaconda distribution. It'll make life easier. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in here. Regular expressions, you might have heard this before. Python does make them a little easier, much easier than dealing with them in SQL, but even it's just something that they're not the most intuitive thing in the world, and sometimes they're hard to work with. It's a way of parsing out a string, taking only grabbing parts of the string you want. And honestly, I got a PhD. I've been doing this for years. Every time I have to mess with regular expressions, I end up having to go look them up. So don't feel lost here. It's okay. We're going to start by bringing in RE, which is regular expressions. It's the module for Python. Uh, Again, I'm going to get deeper into modules in the next section here. We're almost finishing up the beginner section of this course. In the next section, we're actually going to build our very own module, so you'll see how the whole concept works. But anyway, we're going to imports right now. Just remember, it's import RE is bringing in the module. We're going to look at two strings. I got a string here, X, which is dog, and I have Y. It says I just saw a dog. He was chasing a cat. And I'm going to use the search function from regular expressions. You see re.search. That means search belongs to re. That's how you know, that's where it comes. So search is a method of this module. And we'll get into all that later again, I promise. But for now, just know that this is the syntax of it. So we're going to say if re.search x, y, print dog is in the text, else print dog is not in the text. So I'm saying re search, this is my search word, and this is the text I want to search. So I go there, and it says dog is in the text. Let's look down here. We've got a list now. I'm going to have my X is going to be 1 and 2 in a list, and I have my sentence going to be I have 3 pencils, but I lost 1. So you'll see 1 is in this sentence, 2 is not. So throw a quick loop together for X, for Z and X, if re search ZY, because Z is each instance of we're iterating through the list. Print Z, else print no. Okay? 1 and no. So 1 is in here, but 2 is not. All right? Let's head on down. Let's look at another one. I got an X is water, and it goes, I went to the water park and brought my water gun, but I forgot my water bottle. I want you to notice here, this water is by itself. It's actually got a space. This is part of a word. Okay? So I'm going to use, instead of search, I'm going to use the re find all. Re find all, X and Y, same type of thing. See what happens. It found all of the waters. Not only that, it returns them in a nice list for you. So you can actually assign this to a variable and use that list. But find all does that for you. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Let's try split. Okay, actually, I'm going to move down here and I'm going to add some spaces at the end here so the screen will move for me. I think I would remember to do this ahead of time, but I can't seem to remember. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put a semicolon here as X, and then I've got the Three Stooges, semicolon, Laurel and Hardy. If you don't know what these things are right here, Laurel and Hardy are the Three Stooges. Go online, check them out. They're normally some pretty short things. They're some classic black and white comedy. All right, so anyway, I'm going to assign the variable using re split. So this is the next method. So we've used, here, let me just keep this going here. So far, we've used re search, re find all, and now we're using re split. Okay, so re split x and y. So what I want it to do is just show what happens here. Bang. So what it does is it looks for the space here, then it splits it. Now notice these spaces are here. If I go back and get rid of the spaces in the text, it'll come out without the space. So, all right. But it basically it walks along this string, says, oh, there's the instance. And if I wanted to do it more, if I wanted to add another one, I could say, I mean, here I'll bring it up a little more modern, South Park. And so now so it doesn't matter. It's out every instance it has, it'll split the string along that into a nice list. Again, you've got a nice list you can work with. Z as a list. All right. So now we're going to go back to the search and we're going to use some functions of the search. Okay? Because one thing I want to show you about search is let's try this real quick here. Let's go back here and I'm going to type in, instead of the find all, I'm going to replace it with search. Now here's what happens. It tells me there's a match and there's a span, and that's where the match is, 14 to 19. So it doesn't return a nice list like that because that's not what search is for. I'm going to show you kind of what search is for. Okay, place that back and go back down. We're on the search now. Okay, so we got guitar, and then I have the straights. Jimi Hendrix was a great guitar player. Search the X and the Y, just like we did before. But now, like I say, search is not going to return a readable thing, but I can do this search start. Okay, now so here's what happened. I got a method here on this Z. It's actually a method of search. It's actually a method back that would go back here. But to make it cleaner and more Pythonic, we assign it to Z. So now the Z inherits all the qualities of this. And you're going, what the hell is he talking about? We're going to get into all of this. This is all what's called object-oriented programming. And we're going to cover this in the more advanced lessons. But just so you know, I just want you to, sometimes when you hear the phrases before, when you go to learn them later, you go, oh, I've heard that before. Okay, I kind of remember that. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit it. Search, start. So what does this do? 25, what the heck does that even mean? Well, if you start counting at 0, because we start at 0 in Python, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There it is. So guitar starts at 25 and it ends at 31. Okay? So that's what the start and the end. So that's a great function, for search. Okay, let's go into this last little section here because, again, we'll be doing more regular expressions further in the lesson. I just, definitely want you to get familiar with some of these. Okay. So here, what I've got is y equals she fits. So I notice I have two S's in here, and I've got find all. But I have in here this list with this caret, which, if you know a caret, it's the it's above your 6 key on your keyboard for most, if you have an, English American keyboard. So that's the first argument I'm sending to find all. And the second argument is the actual string. And here's what I'm saying. What this says is I want you to get rid of the S's, exclude the S's. Okay? So you notice I get everything, including the space. I get every character in this but the S's. Now, if I add this plus sign at the end, it actually keeps the words together, so that's a little nicer. He fit. Keeps the space. Okay. Now, this is something here that's right here. This line is actually useful. You're going to find there's a lot of text editing. When you start to do text analytics, natural language processing, one of the first things we like to do is get rid of punctuation because it kind of screws everything up. So here I got a sentence. What? Question mark. I cannot believe it. Exclamation point. How weird. Period. All right, so in RE find all, I've got this little string here. Now, if you look closely, so we've got the list here. I've got the plus, so we're going to keep everything together at the end, but caret, I'm excluding exclamation, question mark, period, and space. And I run this. What? I cannot believe it. So let's try, I know this is bad grammar. I'm going to put a comma in here just for fun. Notice the comma state. So, but I can get rid of the comma by adding it to the exclusion list here. Okay. All right. So that's your introduction to regular expressions. Trust me, this is easier than it is in other languages. Python this RE package does a pretty good job of helping out. But again, I want you to go ahead. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe sign. Check out my website, analyticsforall.org. I'll have the link down in the description. Leave me a comment. Let me know what else you'd like me to work on. If you have like suggestions, something you want to learn, I'll go make a video for you. All right. Thank you very much. This is Ben Larson, Analytics for All. See you next time.